Well, joining me via Skype is agriculture expert and entrepreneur John Akerele. Good morning and thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
All right, let's begin with you. How has COVID-19 affected your business?
It has actually likely affected our business and all that we do, but despite all of that, we need to try on and keep moving. There should be no excuse in doing business. We are affected in terms of logistics, we are affected in terms of supply of raw materials, even with of seedlings and fertilizers that will help us even in the process of farming. But despite that, we just have to encourage ourselves as farmers and to move on, either there is COVID-19 or not.
From the look of things, it seems the timing of the pandemic affected that. So what are your concerns, especially looking at, as some have said, the next harvest? Does it mean that a food crisis looms?
We should not lie to ourselves as a people. We are going to experience food crisis. Mind you, before COVID-19, we've had deficiencies. We are not self-sufficient in terms of some food supplies for the people. One is in rice, one is in tomato. And I've said on this flat before that until we get to a stage of self-sufficiency, then we can export. In a case where we are not self-sufficient in all of this food supply, and now there is COVID-19, there is lockdown, which means that we have more people at home, the rate of consumption of food supply will be on the increase, then the rate of supply will also decrease. So when there's high demand and increase of food supply, and there's reduction in the supply of food, then you see that there's crisis, and that's what we're going to experience. So between now, which is this month, June till September, we are going to experience food crisis as a result of food shortage in this country called Nigeria. Why? Because we have not prepared for this time, and now it is on us. But then the government has actually tried by actually putting in some things in place to curtail this. But what they have put in place will not give us an immediate response. But then over 3-4 months, we get to see the result of what the government have done in terms of giving funds to farmers, in terms of giving single-digit interest loan to them, in terms of giving incentives that make farming attractive to people. More people have come into the sector, but then farming is not something that you do today and you get harvest tomorrow. So it means that all that they are doing now, we cannot see it now until about 3-4 months after. And so food crisis for us in Nigeria is a yes, but then we are going to deal with it. So my message to people now is, don't look at the fact that there's going to be food crisis. Rather, look for palliatives and alternatives that you can actually take. In the case of rice, instead of taking rice, you can take spag, you can take noodles, and this can be other palliatives that can help you augment all that you are going through in this period of food crisis. But for us to go out this, it's a lie. We are going to experience it, but then we need to deal with it.
Probably you are saying people need to begin to learn to change their food patterns.
Apart from the fact that they need to change their food patterns, they need to also reduce their consumption rate too. So if you're in the house, you will agree with me that most families consume food more than 3-4 times a day. Unlike when they used to go to work, they either eat once or twice a day. Now they eat 3-4 times. So families should be able to sit together on a round table and reduce their time of food consumption. Also look at alternatives as to what they've been readily eating before. So if you have been taking rice before 7 times in a week or 5 times in a week, can you reduce it to 2 times in a week? Can you then start taking pasta, okay? And just to make sure that you have other things that you're eating. So if you don't be eating yam before, go for yam. There's yam flour. We have our semovita, we have our gari, we have other foods that you can actually take and munch around. This can actually help us to move within this space of 3 to 4 months that we're going to experience this crisis. And I can assure you that by the time we are coming out of this crisis in September, we have more than enough that will go around, knowing fully well that the government will still be the good driver of these policies. Though the government are still on the government to help us put in more funds into our agricultural sector, give industries, industrializations, okay, as to materials and implements that will help farming to be highly mechanized, okay, provide more incentives for farmers so that we can have more people come into the farming sector, we can have more land with till, and then plant more seed so that we can have more harvest. Then also, they should also look at the area of storage facility so that when all these harvests are being brought into the barn, we have good storage facility that can help us store so that we have more than enough that can go around to feed our people and also export nationwide. You know, oil is nowhere to go. So agriculture is the way to go now. So I believe our government are actually watching and they can do the right thing in the right step so that we can go off this food crisis for our people and as a people and as a nation.
Farmers that we have spoken to are of the opinion that these credit facilities are not really getting to them. They are not really benefiting from it. So I wonder if you have.
Okay, bluntly speaking to you now, I have never benefited from the government of today or government of yesterday as to farming. Never. Count my word, I have never. But then I can say to you clearly and categorically that the CBN has actually received some funds, okay, through NISA to help farmers get some of these funds. Now, how they're able to get this fund is what is not really clear to me. But some, I've said it times and number on this one that some of these things does not go to the people who actually need it. But then the onus is on us as farmers, even to approach these people, even on tape or on record, so that they know that we are the real farmers. We are coming for this loan because it's for us, and then we can use this loan to actualize that which is meant for. But people accessing the loan, is it difficult? I'll say to you, yes, it's difficult, and they've not been able to. And then, I've said that before, that the government also needs to look at implementation and how execution of this loan is being done. Who is owning this money? Where is this money disbursed to? Who is the people getting the money? Are they the real farmers or not? Because if they're not the real farmers, that means that we are throwing the money into the ocean for people just to throw around. Okay, so that government should do for us. But I can assure you, I can say to you, the government of today have listening ears and listening to us. Last time we spoke about assessing funds on double interest loan, and we said they should give a single interest digit loan. I can assure you that the government of today listening to us, and they brought down the interest loan to a single digit, which means they have listening ears and they are listening to us. So I believe that the government of today have a long way to go in making sure that the real fund that they have allocated for farmers actually go to the real farmers, so that we will not experience food shortage in the nearest future to come. Food shortage will come, and it will come over and over again. But if you are prepared for it before it comes, I can assure you that the effect will be minimal on our people, on our economy, and everyone at large. So that's what my word for people listening and watching us right now.
John Akerele, thank you for speaking with us.